Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump, lit,
What's up, Rashad?
yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey,
transition here. I didn't know how I like sequenced this, but this is where we going. This is where we going with it, man. Let me see where we at. What do you say? He said, okay. Shout out Squires, my boy. Shout out A&T. Aye. Shout out all my people over there at A&T. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So. All right. Hold on. Let me stop playing. I'm going to pull this up in a second. I'm pulling it up right now. The Zendaya story. Happy birthday to Zendaya. Happy belated birthday to Zendaya. What is she now? 29? I believe Zendaya has turned like 29 now. So happy belated birthday to Zendaya. One of the biggest models, like actresses, figures, icons of her time. 29 years old. Here we go. This is her post and her words. Coming on here to say how grateful I am for another year of life. And thank you all for making it so beautiful. Thank you so much for all the love and warm wishes. As always, here's to the official last year of my 20s. Literally, what the hecky? 29. Love Z. Zendaya, man. This junk got 4 million likes, bro. Let me see how many followers she has. Zendaya has 177 million followers. I'm about to pass out. Following 0 on Instagram. Let's go to Twitter, shall we? Twitter, Zendaya. 19.9 million followers. She hasn't tweeted in over 2 years. She's following 0 people on Twitter. Superstar, icon, all of the things, as the children say, mother, whatever they want to say, right? Euphoria star, all of the things. Vogue model, the supermodel of a generation, the star of Challengers, and obviously Miss Mary Jane. I believe she's Miss Mary Jane. I'm sorry. Spider-Man fans, if she's not Miss Mary Jane, my bad. Happy belated birthday to Zendaya. Here's the Zendaya story time. So it's 2012. My little sister, my baby sister, her favorite show at the time was Shake It Up. Zendaya was coming to Atlanta December 8th. My baby sister's birthday is also on Christmas Day. So his birthday's on Christmas Day. Christmas is coming up. 2 for 1. I get you an autograph picture of Zendaya. I look up some Shake It Out poster or something like that, wallpaper, right, on Google. I print it out. It's printed out kind of weird. So like it's kind of halfway cut on the paper. A bunch of white space. I think I like chopped it, or I was like, I'll chop it after I get the autograph. Just get the autograph first. And I put it in my notebook. I had a notebook where I like wrote a bunch of dreams or whatever and goals and stuff like that in high school. And but I just got it. It was a fresh notebook. So I put it in there to kind of hide it. And it had a football helmet on it. The notebook had a football helmet on it on the outside. Because like I think I'm grown and stuff like that. I'm 17. I'm driving. I got a job now. I'm trying to be all cool wearing snapbacks and stuff. I'm applying for colleges. I'm grown. So 17, man. I don't want to be looking crazy holding a Shake It Up thing. Because, I'm 17. I don't watch the Disney Channel anymore. Even though I still watch Shake It Up. But I don't want people to know that. I'm walking around with the little printout of the Shake It Up thing in my little notebook. So I bring that with me. The night before, bro, I kid you not. For some reason, I don't know why, because I told myself and I convinced myself I was doing this solely for my baby sister for her birthday. For her birthday and Christmas. 2 for 1. Get the star of her favorite TV show to sign and say, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. All of that, right? So that's what I told myself. So the night before, I'm just pacing around my room. I end up doing like 100 push-ups. I did like 100 push-ups. Then I brushed my teeth like 3 times just that night. Then I laid out my outfit. I never laid out my outfit, bro. I still don't be laying out my outfit like the day before for most times. The only time I do that is like when I gotta dress up, it's a special event, or if I'm about to travel, I'm about to go to the airport. I need to know what I'm wearing today, so I could just wake up, roll out of bed, shower, and then go to the airport. You know what I mean? So I was so excited. I did 100 push-ups, did like 100 sit-ups, brushed my teeth 3 times, and then I laid out my outfit. I wore my senior shirt. It's like seniors, da 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 da, class of what. I wore that just to show, I was older. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Seniors are cool. In high school, if you a senior, you at the top of the social food chain, everything like that. You just automatically cool for being a senior in high school. So I got on my senior shirt, had on some dark Levi jeans or whatever, things of that sort, some simple, some slight. And then for the first time, I brought out some Adidas Sambas that I never wore before because I was just wearing Nikes and stuff like that. I was wearing my Nikes, but I wore my Sambas for the first time. I brought them out. I brought the shoebox with me because I didn't want to crease the shoes. And here's the Sambas for you. They were like this. Good pair of shoes. I probably want to give me a new pair, by the way. I wanted to get the Donald Glovers, but then like by the time I wanted to get them, Donald Glover like ended his partnership with them. I guess he didn't like sell enough signature shoes or whatever, but I wanted the Donald Glover joints. But yeah. I brought these out for the first time ever, right? So I got them in a box, everything, because I don't want to crease them. And that morning, I'm riding around. My cousin hit me. He texted me and he said, "Yo, cuz, shouts out to my cuz Brent, everything like that. His birthday was recent too. I just shouted him out. Y'all subscribe to him, The Next Success on YouTube. He said, "Yo, cuz, can you drop me off at the Y?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I had a plan to be there on time and early and this and that. I timed out how far it was. It was 40 minutes away. All that stuff. So yeah. I said, "I got you, bro." So I go scoop him up, drop him off at the Y. And now I'm like, all right, do I want to get out the shoes? I said, no, I ain't getting out the shoes. I ain't getting out the shoes. Yeah, I ain't getting out the shoes. It's too much. The reason why I remember all these details is because I wrote a paper on it my freshman year of college. So, I don't want to get my shoes. I don't want to get my shoes yet. I go in the car after dropping them off at the Y. I drive 40 minutes to Alpharetta. So the YMCA was off of Campbellton Road in Southwest Atlanta. And I'm going to like North Atlanta, which is Alpharetta. You know what I'm saying? Suburbs, like Ridge Park, everything like that, to the North Point Mall over there. So I'm driving. I'm on 400. 400, they got tolls, or at least they did back then in 2012. So they had a toll. I dropped my little coins in. They said, these Canadian coins. I said, what the heck? Canadian coins? What my stepdad? I'm driving my stepdad's car, by the way. What my stepdad doing with some Canadian coins? So, they let me through anyway. They let me through the toll. And now I'm like, I'm rolling now. I got the little aux set up for the first time in my car. Like I just discovered, I didn't discover, but I just plugged up the aux successfully to my car and stuff like that. The little ports. So I'm listening to my music for the first time. And I'm playing like Will I Am and Britney Spears. I wanna sing and shout and let it. I'm playing that like on repeat because I only have like 5-7 songs on my phone at the time. I wanna sing and shout and let it out. We sing oh yeah. And I'm like, man. So I got on my senior shirt, my jeans. I'm cold. I'm a little chilly, but I don't want to put on my jacket because I don't want to get musty. If you know, fellas. It's 2012. I'm in high school, everything like that. I do sweat when I get nervous. You know what I mean? But especially back then when I was a high school kid. So I'm wearing my shirt. I'm a little chilly because it's December 8th. So I drive all the way there and I finally get there. When I get there, I go to the trunk, pop the trunk. take off the Nikes, open up the Adidas box, and I put on the Adidas samples right there in the parking lot. And then it hit me when I was walking in, right? I grabbed the little notebook out the back seat and it hit me. Dang, what if my breath stinks? Okay. So what I did, I went to I looked for the nearest convenience store or something like that in the mall. I'm asking around, y'all got gum, y'all got gum, y'all got gum. No, 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 no. I walked around the whole mall. I finally found a place with some gum. I bought me a pack of gum. I get to the line. It's a long line, bro, going around the whole store. They all there for Zendaya. It's a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, like younger girls and stuff like that with their mamas or with their daddies sometimes. It's not many dudes, and it's definitely not no dudes my age. So I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So then Zendaya's dad, shout out to Zendaya's dad. He walks around with his camera, with his phone like this. He said, y'all say hey. And we just like, hey. And he stopped at me. He said, say what's up. I said, oh, hey, what's up, Zendaya? Yeah. I ain't know what to say. What the heck? So he keep walking by. I said, dang, I should have practiced something just in case he did that. I have nothing to do on my phone. I have a limited amount of text at this point because I still had limited text. I can only send or receive like 200 text messages a month. So it's not like I could just text like free and willingly. Like I didn't have unlimited. Like that wasn't the thing back then. So I'm just like, dang, I'm just kind of standing around and stuff. I'm playing the game. I paid like $199 to buy a game on my phone just to do something with my hands. In the meantime, waiting for her to come out and stuff, waiting for the line to get moving. And I make a nice conversation with this white mom in front of me and stuff like that. I'm sorry, Caucasian mom, things of that sort. And so I'm talking to her, we having a nice conversation and everything. I'm saying, yeah, I'm doing this for my little sister. She's like, oh, that's so sweet, that's so nice. I said, yeah, big brother duties, you know what I mean? She said, oh, okay. So I was like, you know about Zendaya? She's like, no. And then I try to drop a couple facts, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at this point, me, like the way that I act now with like knowing people and stuff like that before I meet them and or interview or interact with them is the same thing. To come to think of it, I was really displaying like journalistic kind of like tendencies, or maybe it was just ADD, ADHD, or what they call it, autism spectrum stuff, where you hyperfixate on something at one thing at a time. So at this time, I was hyperfixated on like Zendaya before meeting her. And so I know in the interviews, they would ask her, like, so what about the boys? And she'd be like, oh, I can't date because, my dad said I can't date this and that. She was like 15 at the time of the interviews. But of course, she recently turned at this time 16, and I'm 17. So it just was what it was. I was 17, she was 16. Woo woo. So she tall, I'm playing this. I'm like, oh yeah, this is just a good fit. So, oh yeah, by the way, when I get there, right, I ain't have my jacket on. I put on my jacket, and guess what the jacket is? It's a Letterman jacket. I just got my Letterman jacket. I don't even think I got my name on the back yet. So you got a Letterman jacket, you cool in high school. Boy, what? You a senior? You mad cool. So I got a senior thing on, a Letterman jacket, and I got a Morehouse snapback on backwards. And the Morehouse snapback, it's got a stitched in R because the one we got from Burlington Coat Factory was missing an R in Morehouse. I don't know why. Because I'm thinking I'm going to Morehouse. So I'm like, okay, I'm showing her I'm going to college. I'm a senior in high school, so I'm cool. And I got a Letterman jacket. It doesn't get cooler than that. And I'm team her. You know why I wore this? Because she had an Adidas deal. Hold on. Let me look this up. Zendaya Adidas. She had an Adidas deal at the time. I think she might still be with Adidas. And yep, look at this. Zendaya had an Adidas deal at the time, bro. You know what I mean? So hold on. Let me see if I open this up. She had an Adidas deal at the time. So she had an Adidas deal. She didn't look like this. This is like grown. That's grown Zendaya. That's how she looked at the time. She had an Adidas deal at the time, right? So I'm like, man, I'm home team. I'm with you. I'm rocking with the Adidas. I'm a senior in high school, so I'm cool. I got social status. I can drive. I think I had like my key. Look, you know how people used to walk around with their little keychain little thing hanging out they pocket, they pants pocket. I had that joint going on. I had that hanging out. And what else? I had the hat on to let you know I got the snapbacks and tattoo that was popping at the time. I'm going to college. I got social status with the Letterman jacket and the t-shirt. I'm a senior. I'm cool. Right. So I do all that and I'm ready. The Letterman jacket is way too big. They didn't have a size for me that was long enough for my arm, so they had to give me a bigger jacket. So it was like kind of falling off on me. So that part looked a little off. But the shirt was on point. The snapback was there. The thing about the snapback was it ain't spelled Morehouse the right way, but it was the only Morehouse snapback I had. So it was like, I gotta represent for my college. It's like I'm pretty much showing her like I'm a college dude. Woo woo. So I get up there, bro. Mind you, I'm there. I'm convincing everybody I'm there to tell her, this for my little sister, my baby sister, Shake It Up, her favorite show. Can you sign this for her and tell her happy birthday? Say her name, woo woo. I get up there for some reason, put my arm around her, take the picture, and I say, you know, I know you can't date and all right now, but I was thinking we skip the whole dating process and just go straight to marriage. And she laughed and she said, oh, okay, all right. And her voice was like a Disney voice. And I know she's obviously on Disney Channel, but like her voice was like high pitch. I never heard a voice like that in real life. I was like, oh, wait, she sounded like she on Disney Channel. Like she is on Disney Channel. She was sick. She had some orange juice on the table. I was like, feel better, everything. She's like, oh, thank you. She signed my thing. She handed it to me and she was laughing. She's like, ha! I was like, ha! I didn't know what the heck she was laughing at. I'm on cloud nine. I'm like, bro, why did I just say that? Why did I just do that? So I go over there. I'm talking to her dad and I'm talking to her Uncle Mike. And we talking over there for a few minutes. I'm telling him what I want to do in life, why I want his daughter and stuff like that. He said, you want my daughter? Go get her. I wanted her mom. I went and go got her. I said, bro, you see how long this line is? I ain't about to stand in this line again. He said, you don't want her. I said, can you give her my number? I wrote my number in the notebook and then tried to hand it to him. She's now Zendaya's looking over like, what the heck is this dude still doing here? What is he doing talking to my dad? What's going on here? So I tried to put the number. He said, I ain't taking that. I ain't taking that. You got to get it to her. I said, bro, come on, man. And then he said, don't touch my pocket. I got $1 million in my pocket. So, that happened. And I was telling him my plans and he just wasn't impressed. I was like, yeah, I want to do this and that, and this and media. And he was just like, it's whatever. And I was like, dang. I was like, well, his daughter is pretty already successful already. And so I get to the car. Oh, hold on. This was the moment when we met each other. This was the fit and stuff like that. Hold on, I'm gonna open it up. I gotta zoom out. So you see, here's a notebook where I had the paper I wanted her to sign, printed thing. Here's a senior shirt, my Letterman jacket that's too big for me, can't fit on me, and the snapback. Boy, I thought I was doing it, boy. So I did that right. And so I get to the car and I open up the notebook, right? And I see the sign thing. And the sign thing, let me see if I could find it. Hold on now. This is what the sign thing reads, bro. And it all clicked for me why she laughed when she handed back her thing and she agreed to sign it, bro. And it was because of this, bro. Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh. Reading these is so cringe. It said Zendaya, aka wifey with a heart. I said, bro, what? Boy, I was on cloud nine when I seen it. I said, what the heck? I was hyped. And then I was like, I can't give this to my little sister. I can't give this to my little sister. I have no clue where this is, bro. It might be up there in my drawer. If it's not, it might be at my mom's house. If it's not at my mom's house, it's gone, bro. It's lost in the shuffle, bro. But this, like, she became a dang superstar, the biggest in the world. Had no clue. I had no clue, bro. But after this, I became a full-fledged, like, I went from like someone who was fixated and like kind of, just studying her interviews, like low key fest, to becoming a full out Z Swagger. So I wrote her from the car at the time. So I guess it was December 10th. I said December 8th, 2012. I said, "You're so dope. Thank you for Saturday." Oh, so Saturday. So it was December 8th. Thank you for Saturday. But I really went up there to get an autograph from my baby sisters as a Christmas gift. Wifey heart emoji. Oh my gosh. I was so cringe the way I tweeted her all the time. I tweeted her like constantly, like nonstop for like the next year. Everybody at the school knew me as like the Zendaya guy. I just had no shame in it. It was like a thing that I was known for. I was known as a Z Swagger. Shout out all my Z Swagger friends. I literally got dang 200 followers, 200, 300, maybe even like 500 followers still that are just following me from like the days that I was a Zendaya Stan and a part of the Z Swaggers and stuff like that. So that's what it was, man. I was beefing with this other dude on Twitter who also had a crush on her, and she responded to him because he was, light skinned and danced and singed and rapped. Shout out to Jackson. We became pretty cool or whatever after like our initial fights and stuff like that. And then her dad followed me. Her dad still follows me on Twitter. And like I said, what's up to him at the show. Oh yeah. So follow up. A year passes or whatever after this whole thing with Zendaya, and I kind of cool off at this point. I had her album, so I knew the songs and everything. Replay, but my favorite is "Heaven Lost an Angel." That's my favorite Zendaya song, and that was on that album. And so she was on Dancing with the Stars as well, her and Val. So I was like watching, you know what I'm saying? Like my stand was still there. I was still an active stand. Everybody knew me as a Zendaya guy. So, her father, he followed me. He follows only 58 people, bro. Still to this day. To this day, he followed like OBJ, like 10 Zendaya fan accounts, and the rest are like, I guess, people he knows and celebrities. And her cousin. And her cousin follows me, Kaboom, the producer. He's a producer out in LA. Shouts out to Kaboom, man. I think his name is like Cub Coleman. Shouts out to bro. So yeah, that's what was going on, man. The family still rock. But anyway, like I say, a year passed. I'm actually dating an actual woman at this point. I'm actually dating an actual fellow teenager, things of that sort, right? And I take my girlfriend at the time, my ex. I take her to Six Flags because at Six Flags, Zendaya's performing. And that's where I saw Matty B. And that's why I told Matty B, I was like, I was at your show at Six Flags like 10 years ago. He's like, for real? That's crazy. That was a fun show. I used to love doing Six Flags because we ride the rides and stuff. It's like, yeah, I was at the show. So I was at the show. And before I went to the show, I wrote this note that was like a divorce paper and everything like that because I was with my ex. And I showed her and she was like, oh, okay, whatever you got to do to get over it. Needless to say, she ended up dumping me. Like now, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, of course, like it was so many just cringe moments. But she put up with my nonsense back then. And I took this picture while she was on stage. And I said, always good seeing Zendaya and Zendaya's dad. Hashtag formerly known as wifey. Oh my gosh, this was so cringe. Zendaya had us on Mobley. It was a picture app called Mobley. You never heard of it? Good. It no longer exists. She had this app and she was like, they like made her an endorser for it. She probably had some stake, some equity in it. She was like, everybody download Mobley now. It's the next big thing. It's a big app. Everybody get on Mobley. And she would like all the people's stuff on Mobley, and she would like follow everybody on Mobley and stuff like that. But yeah. I think this was uploaded to Mobley because I didn't have Instagram at the time. I didn't have Instagram until like later. So I might have had Instagram at this point, but yeah. Yeah, man. So that's the Zendaya story. She looked at me like she kind of recognized me at the show, but her dad didn't remember me. And that was pretty much it. We went our separate ways. Zendaya went to Waffle House that night, the Waffle House that we always go to, because Six Flags is right by my church, the church that I grew up going to. And there is a Waffle House right by said church. And she went to that Waffle House. My ex and I were leaving Six Flags, and she was like, where you want to eat? I said, I'm tired of Waffle House. She was like, let's get Taco Bell. We went to Taco Bell instead. We saw on Instagram that Zendaya was at Waffle House, we was like, of course. The one time that we don't go to Waffle House is when Zendaya's there. She's like, wow, that's so annoying. So yeah, that happened. I never saw Zendaya again. She became a superstar and the biggest star in the world. I'm extremely proud of her, and I'm happy for her and Tom Holland. They seem like they have a good thing going on as well. Best of luck to them. And yeah, shout out to Spider-Man. There is absolutely nothing, no type of angst or anything like that in my heart. But yeah, there's a whole. I was looking at some of them today, bro. Oh my gosh! Like while I was looking for these tweets of like the wifey picture and the picture of me at the thing and her father following me. I was looking at some of them tweets. I was like, oh my goodness, bro. I was so cringe, bro. And a lot of it I did at the time because I thought it was funny. Like I thought it was like trolling and stuff like that. So keep this in mind. When you see like younger kids or whatever on the internet, teenagers and stuff, just saying like cringy stuff that isn't funny, they just kids, bro. They just kids. Their brain's still developing. They still figuring out their personality and life on their own, especially if they were sheltered growing up. So I ain't really jump off the porch for real until like, and I mean jump off the porch, like just go outside without like my mom until like I was a junior in high school. So I was like, I was a late bloomer. I didn't really get outside till I was like 16. So, you know, from 16 to 19, I'm really figuring it out. And I don't think I fully became, I don't know if you'll ever fully become comfortable, which I think is a good thing. Like, I think you get comfortable, you don't grow. That's a whole nother tangent and stuff like that. But it took a while to find your swag, to find you. It takes a while, bro. It takes a little minute. So kids are just finding themselves. You have to give them patience and grace and things of that sort when they're using social media, and not just be like, "Oh, this person is cringe, F you." Da, 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 da. You know how the conversation can get on the internet. So that is the story about the time I became a Z Swagger, and I was a Z Swagger from like 2012 to probably like 2014, 2015. Pretty cool stuff. Then Zendaya started tweeting less and posting. She kind of drifted away from social media. She did Spider-Man, met her husband, and here we are now. So shouts out to Zendaya. Proud of you. Congratulations on all the success. And shouts out to Tom Holland. And yeah, shouts out to all my stands out there. All the stand accounts, stand culture. I was with you one day, you know. I grew up on the internet, so I've had a bunch of different phases on the internet. And that's one of those ones where I look back on now and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was so cringe. But hey, it's always better to be cringe and just let out your true self than hold back who you truly are for the sake of looking cool or socially acceptable. That's it. That's all I have, man. This was a 2-hour stream. I wasn't intending it for it to be that. Some people subscribe to this channel are like, bro, upload the dang press conferences. My bad, dog. I was trying to go to sleep early. I'm about to upload the press conferences right now, all that good stuff. And I got to upload a short, so I'll upload a short too. It'll probably be, I'm thinking Kendrick. And yeah, that's it. If you are new to the channel, my name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 2K subs, 10K subs. I was used to saying 2K. Goodness gracious, we're on a different level. Shout out SSB holding it down in the chat tonight. That's all I have, man. You guys, please take care of yourselves. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Have a good day. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. Until next time, please take care of your.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
Rashad. Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother. Front lit.
What's up,
in it.
Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.